I'm Priestess Makala, as well as Niana and Felicia. You pick and choose. One of them will show up for you today. It might be all three. There you go. Oh, and look, it's me. All right. So I was running around. I'm saying to myself, I'm like, oh crap, I gotta get out. I gotta hurry up. But first, let me draw my bathwater. But first, let me get my magnesium drink. But first, let me get my crystals. But first, and then next thing you know, oh crap! All right. Do you want me to tell you what happened last night? After midnight. Yes, of course, it was after midnight. Lovelies, let me tell you what happened. And I thought, it was really kind of odd, but then again, not really. You know what I'm saying? Um, Here in California, it's raining. It's all windy out. And it's funny, when the rain started this morning, this particular cell has a routine. It starts to rain, it comes in, it makes this one clap of thunder, and I'm like, right, know your routine. No lightning. I'm like, really? So, remember yesterday I told you about the, when I came from the grocery store and I was telling you about the ship thing. So the reason why I say, do you believe in what you see and what you hear? What you see, what you feel? Do you believe in what you see and what you feel? I said, when you feel something and you know in your heart of heart that that is something that is out of the ordinary for you, or it's something that you're like, okay, wait a minute, I just saw this, or I just felt this, I just saw that. We're going through such a high accelerated amount of energy right now. It is crazy. We're in March 1st. I'm like, I remember February. I remember walking into February. That's it. Now we're in March. Okay. So, here's what I want you to really think about. When you feel something, when you see something that is out of the norm, first of all, give thanks that you're witnessing something that other people might not have an opportunity to witness. Okay? And the reason why I say this is because there's so many of us out there that we are afraid to share our stories because we don't want to be looked upon as, you're crazy, what pills are you on, you've lost your mind, that couldn't have happened, that couldn't happen, you couldn't have had that happen to you, blah, 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 blah. Because of their lack of belief, or to be outside the box. You know what I'm saying? To be outside the box. So I want you to really go back and think about those unusual moments where you had something really strange happen to you. And you knew if you explained it to somebody or you told somebody about it, they weren't going to really believe you. You're like, I think I'll just keep it to myself. And then you're waiting like 20 something years down the road to finally talk about it because other people have had similar things happen to them. So this is why I'm telling you this. Give thanks for those moments when, out of time of no time, when a portal of energy opened up to reveal itself to you, to show you something entirely different, to have your mind expand beyond what your belief center is telling you, of what you were thought to believe in, or what you were taught to believe in, or what you were indoctrinated in. Okay, I'm going to use that word. What were you indoctrinated into to believe that was not a part of your divine curriculum? Yes. So I want you to really think about that. I want you to really kind of focus in on that. And really, where did you have some very unique, unusual things happen that were just mind blowing, where you were just like, whoa, that kind of blew my mind. Whoa, I didn't see that coming. Blah, blah, blah. I want you to really think about that. And then what was the message? What did you feel from that? What did you get out of that? So at 4 o'clock this morning, let me back up. When I laid down and went to sleep, all of us were just out. We were just all feeling very tired. We all just wanted to go to sleep. And I'm just like, okay, I just want to go to sleep. The reason why I titled this, do you believe what you see and what you feel? Okay. So I'm laying down, and Kitty decides she's going to hang out with me. And I'm like, okay, fine. But Kitty, I've been paying attention. Kitty and all of them, they've been seeing things like, I would watch it and her head goes. I was like, okay, you're seeing these orbs, and she's just watching them. And then sometimes when she doesn't want to be bothered with them, she hide under things because she doesn't want to be bothered with it. Or she'll come in my room and hang out. So get into bed, cut the lights off. I lay down and I'm like, so good to lay down. Oh. I don't know about you, but that's like my best part of the whole day, to finally get to lay down and I don't have to stand up, and just to lay down and just rest. I'm just like, I get to lay down. Yay! So I'm laying down. And I turn on my side. And I close my eyes and I'm like, okay, what are the things I'm going to hold gratitude for that I saw today, and da-da-da-da. And I'm acknowledging it. And then I open my eyes and I'm getting ready to turn back over on my back. And I see this big pinkish, I want to say, kind of like it was a mix of a pinkish, orangey, yellowish, glittery looking orb. Now, this wasn't your orbs that were like this. This was a big plasmic charged orb that just came through the door, floated over by my pictures, hung out right there, and came up just enough for me to see it. And it did this woo. And I said, you're a plasmic being. And it said, yes, I am. You can see me. And I go, yes, I can see you. And it was like, woo, disappeared into the door going into the bathroom. And I was like, I'm waiting. Did I just say, are you coming back out? Are you coming back out here to have a conversation with me? Hello? What do? No response. But it was the way it came in, and it was just like, ooh, it was like watching a water, you know how you blow those bubbles? Those big giant bubbles, and you watch how they float through the air, and they are doing this, and they're like, that's what this was doing. Except it was a lot of charged light particle plasma in it. You could see it. And I was just like, oh yeah, I remember this. I saw and I was visited by these beings when I was learning about when I was being initiated into the star water, how to make the star water. And I was like, they came into my lodge where I was staying for 3 days. It was like my third year preparing for Sundance. And I was in there and had laying on my buffalo robe. The fire was already stoked and going. And I was just in this sacred space for 3 days. It's where the elder put me. Says, you stay in here as long as you want. I was like, okay. And then after I did my 3 days there, she gave me permission. Rest her soul, she's not here with us anymore, Aida. She gave me permission. I can come up anytime and pour water and have ceremony. And I was like, thank you so much. So anytime you want to come up. So I'm in there and I see these plasmic light beings come in. And this is why I say, the title I say, do you believe what you see and what you feel? And so my mind was saying, what the hell is this? And it floated up to me and it elongated his body and it came back into form and it floated up and it said, don't be afraid of me. And I said, I'm not afraid of you. I said, and it says, what are you? I said, I am plasmic charged light. I'm a plasmic body being with a consciousness. I come from the higher realms, 9 and 10 and 11. I was like, whoa. So I'm looking at it, and it just kind of floated around in the lodge, and it was just, no, it's just me in the lodge. You know, the fire is going, but it's in a kettle fire to keep the heat. It's not an open flame fire. And I'm just watching it, and it's just literally like, it literally was like it was floating in water in the air. That's how it was moving. And that's the same thing that I saw last night. So I was just like, interesting. And this is why I really want you to think about when you get those visits, what were the messages for you? Did you just think something was weird? Or did you take that as a message that this is your next level, this is your next being, this is your next, you're rising up to another level of yourself? Did you get that part of it? Okay? Because a lot of times what happens when we see something like that, we quickly want to judge ourselves and shut it down. But then there's some of us that are like, we allow it to be. We allow it to come. We allow it to be present with us. If it's coming in a good way. If it's coming in a bad way, you'll know. Because it won't feel right. You'll start to feel nervous. You'll start to feel on edge. You start to feel like, I don't like how you're making me feel. That's how you know it's coming and it doesn't have good intention. But if it shows up and it's just like in your space and you're feeling calm around it, you're not having any kind of weirdness around it, it's not there to harm you. It's showing you itself for a reason. Okay? So I really want you to keep that in mind. And why am I sharing that with you? Because the way things are speeding up right now, you're going to start seeing more things, if you haven't already, shifting in and out of your reality. You know, I am sick and tired of when I put something somewhere and I come back, it's gone. I'm like, where the hell did I put it? I know I laid it up there. So then what do? You self-gaslight yourself. You start self-gaslighting yourself. Well, you didn't put it there. Oh, yes, you did. No, I did. No, you didn't. Maybe I forgot it. Maybe I put it somewhere else. This is, you start ripping everything apart. Can't find it. Okay, it's gone. But then you'll come back hours later, or maybe a day later, and there's that object that you were looking for. It just randomly shows up. Because of the amount of timelessness we're in. It's crazy. It's crazy the amount of energy that we are moving through and expanding into in our awareness. And right now, you probably can't even get your thoughts together. You're probably feeling like you have clarity and clear, but you can't really like get in there and really like hang on to thoughts really strongly like you want to. Thoughts coming in and out of your head and it's leaving, like forgetfulness. Like, I just forgot what I was going to think because we're moving in and out of these energies. And that's what's happening to us. Now, when we talk about our connection with our ancestors and them bringing us messages, I was inundated with some really interesting messages that were coming through. And there was this one that came through, and I was going back in my mind long time ago, back in the day when I was wanting to make some quick money to get my monies together for buying my nursing books because they were so damn expensive. So I had all my prep ready for my classes. Back in that day, it was 28 units, 30 units, close to 35 units. You were taking a lot of units, heavy studying time. And I remember I think it was this lady or something, she wanted me to come by and clean her house. And she said, well, come by and you can clean my house for, I'll pay you, and da-da-da-da. And I remember that night, I was kind of thinking about it, and I wasn't really sure if I really wanted to do that. I didn't find joy in cleaning my parents' house when I lived there, but I did it because I lived there with my parents and my brother. And I just didn't feel really good about going into somebody else's house, cleaning their house. And I just, there was this whole thing going on in my mind, going to this lady's house, clean her house. And that night, my grandmother showed up. And I'll never forget this. She showed up at the foot of my bed, and she goes, baby. I go, Grandma. And she says, make something, sell something, but I don't want you going over there cleaning her house. And I go, what's the way I can make? She goes, no, because I already cleaned enough houses for you so you wouldn't have to do it. And I was like, oh. Because back in that time, back in those days, that's what was expected of black women back then. You go clean house and make people's food in their house, and it was always the upper class type of thing. And it was just the way she said it. She said, I already cleaned enough houses, so you don't have to do that. And I was like, oh. She goes, I love you. And she disappeared. And so I told that lady the next day, and she goes, well, why don't you want to come over here and clean my house? And I said, because my grandmother told me not to. She already cleaned enough houses, so I wouldn't have to do it. And I'm like, the lady just looked at me, and she got this really shocking look on her face. And she says, I'm so sorry. She did it just like that. She says, I wish you well and all your nursing. And then instead of me coming, she donated some money for my nursing books. She gave me some money. She goes, here, take this for your nursing books. Which one are you trying to get? I said, I'm trying to get my anatomy, the physiology book. That's over $100. They charge so much for these texts. She goes, here. She just gave me the money. She says, thank you anyway. Have a great day. That was it. And I was just like, so when our ancestors show up and they're talking to us, do you believe what you're being told? Do you believe what you're feeling? And I want you to just kind of step into yourself right now and look at where you are in your life. And then think about what our ancestors that's connected to your lineage, your bloodline. This is not a race thing. I'm talking about who's connected to your bloodline. What bloodline are you connected to? What did they have to do in their life so that when you came along, you wouldn't have to do it. You wouldn't have to go through it. The sacrifices that were made in your bloodline that you don't have to do it. You now get to pick up the torch and keep going forward with you. And the beautiful thing when we really honor our gifts and honor that part of ourselves, and we keep it going in a good way, we step out and we say, yes, my grandmother back in the day, she used to write poems. She used to do a lot of writing, but here was the problem. She wrote a lot of different things. She put them on paper. And when she passed away, we all had the pleasure of finding that and reading it, but nothing ever got published. She never got published. So here she goes to her grave with her words written on paper that she herself never gave herself permission to get published. So then I step in, I start writing poems, and I take it one step further and I write about my journey. And I got myself published. Because that's something she didn't get a chance to do. Do you see what I'm saying? How it all lines up? Because all of us are intertwined and we have that connection, and it's all lined up. And that's the beauty of, do you believe what you feel? Do you believe what you see? Do you believe it? Do you believe it when you get those inspirational feelings to go do something, to take you out of your box and you go do it? And what is the payoff of it? What happened when you did it? Who did you meet? Who did you connect with? When you did it, you stepped out of the box. You stepped out of limitation. You stepped out of doubt. You stepped out of fear. And you just went and you just did it. So many of us hem-ha around with what we felt, what we feel and see. Did I see that? Did I not see that? Yeah, you saw it. So I'm inviting you today and this weekend to just be in the moment and honoring yourself of what you see and feel. What feels good to you? What doesn't feel good to you? What are you saying yes to? What are you saying no to? Those still apply. We're on day 17. Can you believe it? Day 17. And it's March 1st. How crazy is that? So let's dive into the messages of the day. I thought we'd do another beautiful mystic healing card again that we did yesterday. Let's start off with that, shall we? That's the message I wanted to bring to you. If you are working with the code 1212121212, great. What's coming up for you? What's being unblocked? Ooh, I like this. Develop stronger concentration. Now, I really want you to look at this picture because it's super, super coded. Okay? Look at that. What do you see? Because it's super coded. What do you see? To develop stronger concentration. Okay, I'm going to read a little something about it. And that's a number 8. How interesting. Acute concentration enables you to think in a cohesive, harmonious way. By learning to deepen your concentration, you will be able to delve into more profound understanding of life, make better decisions, and effectively work with life-changing healing and spiritual processes. Improving your ability to concentrate also awakens your imagination and your ability to visualize, and is a powerful step to developing your intuition. The more you concentrate, the more you start to identify the small details that make all of the difference in every area of life. Excellent concentration also allows you to become extraordinary in any field of study and dramatically improve your memory. Become more detailed and effective in all that you do. I like that. So that's super coded. Where do you need to have more concentration? Where do you need to feel that more? Okay, we're going to do the Light Seer Tarot. I love this set. I taught a whole class on this. We did a 78-day tarot journey. That was fun. 78-day. Okay, let's pick one out. And then to combine with that is the Sacred Creator cards by the same person, Chris Ann. And this is the back of it. Okay. Four of Swords. Where do we feel like we need to nestle in and just kind of, oh my gosh, what are we feeling so worn down from? Needing to take a break from. Needing to kind of just cut some of those cords and just be. Because the question is, fall in love with your own story. Number 54. Fall in love with your own story. Because this does look like a dreaming moment. This does look like tired, kind of just need to take a break, need to rest. Let's just nestle in, kind of just let me rest for a moment. That's how we're all feeling. It's going to feel like that a lot this weekend. But this weekend, make it a point not to get caught up in drama. Not to get caught up in other people's stuff. And then for the Crystal Grid Medicine, see, what did I just say? 21, have those boundaries. This is Calcite Fairy Stone. Calcite Fairy Stone. Have boundaries. Have healthy boundaries. Don't go repeating the same energy. And then the light language of the light message is variancy. What's the variancy? Variancy. And that's a number of 39. Let's take a look at that. Because sometimes when we get variancy, it's like 39. Okay. This is all about, the differing perceptions of ego and soul. And this is all about the variancy. When you have the same perceptive as your soul, things feel right. They may seem satisfactory or easy. No limiting belief or patterns are triggered. But there is a feeling that all is well. Your soul will never join you in judgment, blame, or hurt, because it is not the truth of you. It is not the perceptive of love. How you feel reveals how aligned you are with your soul. If you're experiencing something that doesn't feel quite right, take a breath and come back to your center. I like that. What is it? If it doesn't feel right, hey, snap out of it. Get rid of that energy. Snap it out. Snap in what you want to have. Okay? So that's the message for today, lovelies. I want you all to be good for yourselves this weekend. Please don't get caught up in drama trauma. Don't make really these jumpy type of decisions. Remember what taught you the golden rule of when you got to really have an answer to something, sit with it for 3 days. How does it feel to you? What does it feel like? If someone comes and they share a story with you that something strange happened to them and they don't have an answer for it, don't be so quick to just judge them and say, oh, you're just making that up, blah, 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 blah. Really allow the person to express themselves and say what's on their mind so that you are not, sitting in judgment on them. It's kind of like this. How would you feel if something very interesting happened to you and you want to share it with someone, but you're kind of scared to share it with someone because you don't want them to think weird of you. You don't want them to think, oh, well, what happened to you? Why won't you think this? Why are you thinking I'm this? Like I said, we are going to be going through a lot of energy. We're already in it. You're going to see and feel things that you've never seen before, if you haven't already. And you're going to think back to a lot of your friends or associates or maybe even family that said, I saw things like that. I felt things like that. Okay? All right, lovelies. Be good to yourself. Much love to all of you. I'm keeping it short and sweet. You know what today is. You know it's a Friday. You know what's waiting for me beyond the door. You know what I'm getting ready to dip into. You know what I'm getting ready to go do. There's a tub in there with water in it, cedarwood, orange essential oils, and basil, and some good Yamaye water in there. Yeah, I'm getting ready to go take a nice little dive in that and just soak and be and have myself a nice magnesium drink because I feel like my body needs it. When you stress out a lot, you got stress or you're moving through a lot of high energy. I'm not a doctor or anything. But it just sometimes is nice when you could just do a little something with some magnesium. Make yourself feel a little bit better. I'm just saying. But I'm not a doctor. Not prescribing, not giving you any medical advice. I just like drinking that because it feels good. Especially when we're going through so much energy. Honey, go drink some magnesium. Take a nice salt bath. You know why? Because I'm not trying to push a whole bunch of stuff down your throat. That's why. Even me coming from a medical background in nursing back in the days, I'm still, I still have to use that cautiousness. I'm not a doctor or anything, but I have the free will to explore things that make me feel good. Just like you do. I hear you. So in the community, I left that information for you. Everybody that did, I think it was, what was it? Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday. I gave those codes. I gave 3 codes. And I said, okay, everybody has to go over to the community tab. And I tell you what it is. But you have homework to do. You have to go look it up. And I need you to go to DuckDuckGo to go look that up. Okay, go there and do some research. And pay attention to it. And keep those frequencies on hand. All right, lovelies? So, I will see you here tomorrow. Probably be later on in the day. I haven't figured out what's going on. It might be early, might be later. I'm not sure. Um, we're going to dive into something a little different. I'll see what the messages are when I go into my medicine bath and what needs to be brought forward as we start prepping, getting closer to when we're going to do that 10-day galactic energy. And in those 10 days galactic energy, we're going to be working with the 10 days of the galactic codes and the upgrade frequency. Okay? Got a whole thing that's going to be put together for us. So as we're moving through it and getting different messages, getting your different vibrational codes going on that you're calling in for yourself, and you're making that connection with source as we go through those different kins. Please, please, please go to 13moons.com, put in your birthday and find out what your signature is, because you're going to want to know what that is if you're going to continue on 10 days. Now get this. If you're going to continue on the 10 days after we do the 30 days of gratitude, that's going to be 40 days. 40 days. Oh, gee, what is that associated with? 40 days. Oh, wow. What else? What's over 40 days? Huh? Does anybody else know what 40 days is associated with? Wow, it's really pouring down rain out there. What is that 40 days? And the rain is just coming down as soon as I said that. It's pouring out there. Now watch. It's going to be this clap of thunder. But no lightning. Then it'll start healing. Then I'll get a little slight headache and feel kind of spacey. Then I know that a starship is nearby. Anyway, everyone think about that. Please go look it up on 1313 Moons, MON. Where's my thing? Here it is. Go to 13moon.com. Okay? 13moon.com. Put in your birth date and then find out what your kin is. You want to find out what your symbol is. And then read about it. Okay? So that you know what it is. So when we start that 10-day stretch, the concentrated energy in those galactic codes, you're getting that. You're aligned with it. And then when your day hits with that kin, you're like, oh man, I'm really in this now. Okay? So I hope all of you do that and go and get the Alma Maya. It has this symbol app so that you can do the app on your phone, and you can look at your kins on your phone if you don't have the calendar already. Okay? So, do that. I'll see you tomorrow. Be good to yourself. Yeah, it's crazy over here, storming. Storming like crazy out there. I mean, it's just pouring. This is why I like to get in the bathtub when it's doing that. It's like all the elements are going. You're in your water portal. It's time to talk. I like it. All right, lovelies. Be good to yourself. Much love. I'll see you tomorrow. Say it with me. Say it with me. I'm divinely aligned. I'm divinely seen. I'm divinely heard. I'm divinely loved. Be so light. Be your light. All right? Take care. Much love. Take care, lovelies. Bye.